What do you get when you cross a know-it-all newspaper columnist with an awkward, unsophisticated everyman?
Yeah. Well, I'm just not sure about that right now.
Welcome to Couch and the Rube.
Welcome to Couch and the Rube, our Monday afternoon show presented by our friends at Muskox Quality Flannels. Yes, Muskox is back. It is Muskox season. And you can already feel the chill in the air. It's football season. Starting to think, man, I'm wearing pants today, of all things, right?
Thank God.
Yeah, it is time to start thinking about Muskox flannels and flannel season and football games and all that stuff. Go to gomuskox.com, where Couch and the Rube listeners can get $15 off their flannel purchase with the promo code this year, Peacock. Peacock gets you $15 off your flannel purchase. There's one right now, the Lagoon Field Grand flannel that I have my eye on that I think I am going to buy shortly here. GoMuskox.com. Jason, how you doing, brother?
Go out there, play hard, stick your cleats so far up their asses that they've got to use the cleats to brush their teeth with.
Really good penis.
What's up, buddy?
I'm good.
Football's back.
It is back.
Football week is back. By the way, shout out to Mr. and Mrs. Fart Soup.
Yeah.
For the penis donuts. You did leave me the penis donuts.
I did. We tweeted that.
Delicious, man.
They came by and they brought the real pianist donuts, like Groovy Donuts. Really good pianist. Does such a good job. It's like it's a whole piano keyboard and it's really good pianist sound. It's fantastic.
Yeah.
We ate the really
Took a
good
bite.
side and left Jason the penis side. So
I appreciate that.
Yeah, no problem. So you figured it was going to happen.
I know you do all of those like live reads saying that Groovy Donuts can do pretty much anything for you. That pretty much goes to show you.
Yes.
Put penis on some long donuts there.
They will put
not a real one, but
not
like
a real
the words.
They'll put the words on a piano keys.
Will they draw a penis?
I let's not ask. Let's not encourage.
Is that
behavior.
well? I'm trying to figure out for the people.
No.
If you're writing out the word penis, but would you draw a penis on a donut? Is all.
I mean,
it's good to know.
Everybody's
for future reference.
Got a price. We just don't want that. We don't want them to become that. Let's not encourage that. We have a few listeners I worry about encouraging that with.
All right.
If that makes.
We had one that brought us penis donuts. So.
That's true, but he didn't ask for the draw. That's what I'm saying. Yes, the writing.
Yeah. So I'm just asking, what is over the line? If
that's the line. Okay. Right there. That is
a drawn penis.
That is the line. Yes.
Gotcha.
Too much to ask. No, excited for this show, and excited for game week. We're doing a Monday, Wednesday, Thursday show this week because the game is on Friday.
Yeah.
So we'll talk a lot of Michigan State football and anything else you want to talk about. We'll have on Wednesday. We'll have Robin Hook, the voice of Western Michigan football, on, and I will start there because Jonathan Smith had his press conference today, and I talked to Western Michigan's head coach last week, and I'm just sort of trying to put together what I think I'm going to see this week. I do not think this is one of Western Michigan's better teams, at least out of the gate. So a couple things are happening. One, they may have 15 new starters, and there are some guys that they're hopeful are going to be good, some good JUCO guys and all of that, and they had, couple offensive line All-Americans they just lost. One including was an pretty high NFL draft pick. But it is also one of the challenges of a place like Western Michigan today is it's very hard to hang on to the NFL guy. They were for a while, from like the time I got there, started covering them in 2005 through.
Wait, you covered them?
Yeah. Lived in Kalamazoo through 2020 or whatever.
Oh.
They were producing, pretty regularly first, second round picks. That sort of player that used to be a problem for a place like a team like Michigan State. Just those type of guys don't exist as much. And so you lose that component of it. And then you also have your roster sometimes fleeced when your more talented guys go on to to high majors. They've only lost, he said, 3 starters in the time he's been there. They've lost a lot of other guys and whatnot, but they've got a lot of new players, new quarterback. I think this is going to be a good game for Michigan State to be able to break in its own new pieces. And I think it's important in some sense because Michigan State's like their kicker situation, not ideal right now. And one of the things that
what do you mean by that, though? Like, what's not ideal? Like,
well, the
don't know who the guy is right now.
correct the guy they brought in.
But is there two guys that can kick? We've seen them kick.
So no,
They have kicks under their belt. Anything?
No.
Oh.
So Blake Sislow, a guy from Davenport, is probably going to be starting this week. If
Davenport, Iowa, or like the actual Davenport?
University
Holy
of Davenport.
shit! They have a football team.
They do. It's been around for a little bit.
Really?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. No, that's good players over there. I'm not saying, and kickers can move up from all sorts of different levels. Is probably going to go. They got another guy as a game time decision. Another guy, Martin Connington, who I thought would be the guy, is still a couple weeks from being available. Jonathan Smith said so. And then I asked at the end how this would impact like red zone decisions and offensive decisions, and he was blunt about it, that it will. Now, not having Jonathan Kim will, you get inside that 25-yard line, do you go for it more often? What sort of play calls do you make based on the down and distance?
Right.
I think we're going to find out real quick about some of the red zone offense stuff and whether that's improved. Now, again,
Like 4th and 5 or 4th and inches?
Depends on the
4th
length
and
of the
1?
field goal. I think if you're at the 23-yard line, I would expect them to go for it on 4th and 5. Or at least I would not be surprised. I shouldn't say I expect it, but I would not be surprised. I think they're lucky in some ways that this is not a game that is probably going to come down to whether you make the field goal or not, whether you're 3 points away. I think the next week they need to have that figured out and make sure they have the guy, because I think with Boston College it could be a little more dicey if you don't. You don't have those points to give up. I think that is one of the more interesting early season storylines, because what you don't want to do if you're Michigan State is have every other component to the point that you should win a game and just not be able to, extra points, short field goals, not connect there. The flip side of that is if your red zone offense is a lot better, maybe it won't matter a ton, and you need it to be better. And so right away, I think that group will get a look at that group and the decisions that are made inside the 25-yard line. I would say from the 15 to 25-yard line is what I'm looking at. Like outside of 25, I think they'll go for it more. You're not going to punt it at the 30 either. So 15 to 30-yard line. What are the decisions? Yeah, and so I think that
Can't wait to be on Twitter if that happens.
That gets real interesting this week. And
by the way, how many MGs were you on when you did the game by game? I thought it was pretty good, but like you did a shout out to Will Tiemann. You're like, do you do that every year where you like pick you had a 99-yard kick return and one of these? I'm like, is Couch is getting loose with this shit now? Like,
yeah, I mean,
do you do that every year? And I just
yes, to some degree. The basketball one is more tongue in cheek with more of these like fun in-game predictions where shit goes wild.
That's what you did this year.
And this year in football, I did a little more of it, and
Like,
I usually
Couch,
do. Yeah.
If any of these come true, we'll never hear the end of it.
I do, but
some guy's got a couple picks in a game. I'm like, how does he know that?
So what he's referencing is on the LSJ. I had my season game-by-game predictions for MSU football that went up Sunday and are still available there on the homepage as well, and I tweeted out or whatnot.
And you're standing firm with those, even though you know the kicking game situation.
Yes.
Okay.
And I think so. What? And again, you don't know what other teams are going to be ideally or exactly, but I think that's about what the season will be. It's a semi-serious thing in the idea that yes, you're predicting things like 99 yard kickoff returns that you have no concept of whether that's going to actually happen or not. You have Will Tiemann,
shout out to Will Tiemann,
getting hit with the Gatorade, at the end of a bowl game. You have things like that. But you also, the actual record and how I think some things will play out is what I think could play out. And so you can read that. 75.
I definitely enjoyed it. I like that you were playing loose with it. It was kind of fun to read. I was just like, did he do this last year for this thing?
I think I did it. But some years it might be more serious than others. Yeah.
I mean, I hate to be one of those guys that looks ahead, though, Graham. When you were doing the game by game, though, I just kept jumping to the Boston College game. I know you picked. I don't want a spoiler alert for anybody, but you did pick them to beat Boston College. And I have to say, other than Bill O'Brien, do I know much about Boston College currently? I mean, they have a transfer from Alabama, their quarterback, Dylan Lonergan.
Yeah,
right?
he's not.
And they have a running
really,
back named Turbo Richard.
Yeah.
So they have a Turbo Dick as a running back, so that's pretty scary. But there's this, I just, for some reason, I keep skipping over the Western game as it's like a formality and jumping already before even week one even happens. Football's definitely back.
Well, that's the beauty of week one, yeah. I think, is people don't overlook week one. Like the games you worry about teams overlooking are like week 3 after you've already played. So week 3, say you've got you've just played Boston College. The week after you've got USC, and in between you've got Youngstown. Now the beauty for Michigan State is the way the schedule's set up. they have no shot in hell of losing Youngstown State. So they can overlook Youngstown. They'd be wise not to. You want to get a lot out of that game, but that is the game. If you're going to have a game in a look-ahead spot between your first game, you really discover things about you in Boston College and USC, which could be a road trip that decides a lot about the record and who this team is and all that sort of stuff. You want it to be Youngstown State over being Western Michigan. I think they're going to be significantly better than Western Michigan. I don't think this game will be close in the fourth quarter. I'll be interested to see what Robin Hook said. He'll obviously take a more pro-Western view, but you can read Robin Hook. I've been around Robin Hook long enough because I used to, work in Kalamazoo, cover Western Michigan, that I know even within his optimism there are layers, and I'll be able to tell what's I work for the university optimism and what's real optimism. Because you remember the guy he was really right on. One of the first time, maybe the first time we had him on, was he talked about Jaden Reed, who is a Western Michigan transfer, and he said, by the time he's done, he'll be one of the better guys ever to play there, and he was a second round pick, and he was. I mean, he knew that guy was legit, and so
we need Robin Hook to give us another name. That's what we need.
Well, I don't know if there's another transfer that.
Well, not a transfer, but give us a name, Robin.
There's a guy on Western Michigan's team who played at Michigan State, and Tate Halleck, who's their starting safety. So it went the other way. It went the other way this time. Yeah. Do you have what is your first take?
Buenos tardes. It is time for the Detroit Tigers gambling update with Gramanito Couch and Jason Nick.
30 games left, Graham. You excited? Can you figure this team out? Is Jack Flaherty, is he going to be on the playoff roster?
He'll be on the playoff roster.
Right, he's pitching for his playoff roster life, I think, because the month of August has not been kind to Jack Flaherty. And yesterday, he pitched okay, last week against the Astros, but yesterday, my God, that was atrocious. You really want to see him in a playoff series? I know he's making decent money, but really, I see currently as we stand right now, playoffs started tomorrow.
So let's say this, but I think what's really important for the Tigers is to avoid that first round series in the wild card, and right now they would. I mean, you just got they're like 6 games up on the in the race that matters. Mm-hmm. The division is over. The division is over. I mean, I know they haven't won it forever, and it's cool they're going to win it. You can stop looking at the division. They've clinched that. They're not 30 games. What are they? 10.5 up with 30 to go. They're not going to blow that. Famous last words. I know.
18 on the road though.
I know.
Yeah.
But what really matters?
God, if you jinx them,
even if they don't play well, the teams behind them just haven't been consistent enough to catch them. It's Toronto, it's Houston. They need to be above one of them at least. They need to finish in the top 2 if they're going to do anything in this postseason. So say that happens though, and you have a best of 5 ALDS series where you've had time to set your pitching rotation and all that stuff, get your bullpen fresh because you had those few days off. So you're obviously going Skubal game 1.
Yep.
Who's your game 2? Is it Morton? To me, it's Morton. Charlie Morton at this point. You think Mize over Morton?
Yeah.
Okay. So, but it's Mize and Morton game 2 and 3.
Yeah.
So the question isn't based on the schedule. You probably need a 4th starter. I don't know that you do. Do you do pitching chaos? Do you do Melton? Do you do Flaherty? Do you have Flaherty with the second he doesn't look great? You go to Melton. Do you? Is there enough time? I don't think there's enough time to come right back to Skubal that quickly. Skubal could probably pitch again in game 5. But
what would you need to see from Flaherty to round it out here? I mean, right, another couple decent starts at least to put him ahead of a guy like Morton maybe, but no. I don't think what does he have to do in this last stretch of games here?
He's got to not be Kenta Maeda is what he's got to stop being, which is what he's been for half the time.
Shouldn't be hard.
The problem is he's been like feast or famine, and he's been okay some of the times. And so you just want to see a couple decent performances in a row, or maybe you don't. Maybe because it's like an every other game thing, maybe you want him to be total shit in his final regular season performance, because then you might get a good. I don't know. It's tough. You cannot trust him. You're flipping a coin and you're hoping. And you can't. You don't.
I mean, if Reese Olson was healthy, it wouldn't even be an issue. I don't think.
So here would be. I think part of it might be what the situation of the series is. Yeah. If you're up 2-1 going into game 4, maybe you pitch him. You hope you get good him. You hope to win it. You got Skubal in game 5. If you're down 2-1, I might go. I don't know. Pitching chaos is hard. They don't have a great bullpen. They got 2 good arms, and then Melton maybe a 3rd. Like, I don't know what you do.
It's true chaos.
It's a situation that's not ideal. you don't want to be down 2-1. That's
such a strange team, though, right?
They're good.
The way they win, I understand they are. They obviously are statistically, and their record proves that. But I'm saying, watching this team game in, game out, just the way they can look so bad at times, it's just, to make you not believe in some sort of playoff run here. But then you have the best record in the AL, and you're like, well, shit, maybe we are a good team. But then you watch a game like last night, Flaherty gets lit up, and I'm like, God damn, do we have to score 12 runs, every Flaherty start? So,
yeah, you don't trust him, and that's what's scary. And maybe, he's just so bad when he's bad. I don't know. I don't know what you do. I don't know what you do. It's not been ideal. If he had been good this year, if they had gotten a good version of Jack Flaherty like they had before they traded him away 2 years ago, the staff would feel a whole lot better. If they just had one more guy that you had some sense of you're not going to get shelled when he's out there, because you don't feel that way about Paddock. I don't think Paddock will be on the postseason roster. Maybe there's a long relief bullpen role. You have to look at it, but it's not.
He throws a lot of strikes. That's what you hear.
That's too many strikes sometimes. Too many strikes. Do you have anything else before we get to your list?
I want to talk about the wife and I. We did end up going to Liv, Michigan on Saturday, and I will say it was definitely those things before you critique something. It's always good to always go to an event so then you can get the experience for yourself. I was really taken aback by how big of a following Bryson DeChambeau has. It was literally like watching what it must have felt like when Elvis and Tiger Woods, when he was going, Tiger Woods, whenever he walks a golf course, definitely has that environment. But it was, I have to say, let's do the positives first for Liv. They had great porta potty placement. I mean, my God. Always in the clutch, always in the right spots. But other than that, I have to say, I didn't see much golf. We tried posting up on 18 to see a couple guys hit their drives. Did see Bryson DeChambeau come through there. John Rahm and Phil Mickelson were playing their singles match, and Rahm was kicking Mickelson's ass. So we're sitting there on 18, and he ended up winning 3-2 or whatever. So they didn't end up coming to the 18th tee, so we never saw Phil and Rahm. They have a kind of a shotgun start, Graham, so they all start on different holes. Now, it's great because they try to get you in and out of there, right? It's a 4-hour thing. They had a Imagine Dragons concert afterwards, but it's kind of like watching golf at a carnival. Like, there's kids fucking everywhere. And by the way, I love growing the game and all that. I know you have to have kids there, but there's too many infant kids, too many kids that have no idea that they're even on a golf course. And I'm just going like, it clutters up the golf course. I know I'm getting old, so I'm just saying, I thought the Liv experience was definitely a fun family environment, and people, brought their kids out and they had the areas for the kids and all that stuff. But for someone like me who's old and doesn't have kids, and I got to say, I like watching the 10-year-old kid, 11-year-old kids that can actually grasp what's going on and they're watching with their dads and that shit. I'm into that. But the kids getting pushed in buggies in the middle of a Imagine Dragons concert, it's like, what are you doing there? I don't know. My wife, Treese, she had a great time because she made it on the TV broadcast. So she's in. She definitely wants to go.
Better you than her.
Yeah, I was behind Bryson DeChambeau's ass. So I was hidden, and then you actually got to see Treese on there. So she loved it. I think maybe we'll try to go again, but you definitely have to get there earlier than you do like the Rocket Classic. When we went to that, there was definitely a lot more. It was a longer day. They definitely take longer on the PGA Tour than they do Liv because they have less teams, less players. So I think if you want that experience, I just didn't see enough golf for me personally. But if you want to, take your family, and that's what the environment they were trying to do. The music, honestly, it didn't bother me because I do like to play with music. But there is a part of the golf purist side of me that it does. I mean, people were having like full-on conversations, while these guys are on the tee box, and that's still, I don't know, weird.
So were you able to yell at anybody, like get in the hole, or how many chocolate milks have you had since?
No, I did not go to the Allied Championship on Sunday. John Daly teed off yesterday at 11:40. Didn't make it to that. There wasn't really. There was a couple yelling guys, but it was more just kind of sitting on 18. Like I said, I honestly. Oh, and another thing Liv needs to do. They need to have monitors like near the holes because due to a shotgun start, there's a lot of time in between. There's empty holes on the course. So while you're waiting for other players, like I really didn't know what was going on. There was no real great. The Wi-Fi connection was really terrible, so you couldn't follow along on the app and stuff like that. So I think Liv needs to a couple tweaks to make their events even more popular than they are. But there was so many fucking people there. I was really, really surprised. So good on Liv for that. But as far as me, I wasn't as excited as my wife was for the Liv thing. So,
And that was mostly because you made it on TV.
She made it on TV, and anytime you can get her on TV. I mean, she loves those kind of events. I'm saying, I think we ended up seeing maybe 14, 15 golf shots. And the rest was either walking around or we were at an Imagine Dragons concert or something. So there wasn't as much golf as I wanted to.
Well,
way too many people for me. I can't imagine what the Ryder Cup is going to be like in September. Like the amount of people it's just insanity.
that is a story worth telling, even without the chocolate milk story or yelling at somebody. It's still a story worth telling, presented by our friends at Midtown Brewing Company in downtown Lansing, which, by the way, this week have Harry Potter trivia on Thursday at 7 o'clock. So they do these themed trivias really, really well. This week, Harry Potter trivia, Thursday, 7 o'clock. That's August 28th, the day before the Michigan State game. You can get your team together. You can call to reserve your table, 517-977-1349, 517-977-1349. They've got great food, great drinks, and they even got some special potion drinks for the Harry Potter themed trivia at Midtown Brewing Company in downtown.
By the
Lansing.
way, I had something for Mickelson if he was going to come up to 18. I had something I was thinking about.
Okay.
I was going to go, hey Phil, Lions over under 10.5. What do you got? He's a gambler. He's a gambling guy.
He might have responded.
Yeah, I thought maybe he would. So I was thinking about that. But then, like I said, Rahm ended up finishing him off on 17.
That's a real flaw that you can't guarantee you're going to see somebody on 18. I think
that's
a
the
flaw.
other problem with Liv is they had match play where it was a team, and then they had singles going on, and now there's also gimme putts. So the gimme putts, they were playing really fast. So if you didn't show up on time with the shotgun start, like the format, I heard some fans around me going like, I'm just so confused by what's going on. And I watched the other two rounds on TV just to see what the vibe was, and it seemed, the Cardinal golf course, that is quite the property there. It's unbelievable.
So it is kind of like Happy Gilmore too then.
It was, it's definitely that vibe, that that white trash kind of my people, my people, there's definitely a lot of my kind there. I saw that, and sometimes that's fun, and sometimes, when you don't want that vibe when you're at a golf event, I don't know. So
anyway. All right, before we get into our listener takes, and I think we get some good stuff today, some good MSU football and otherwise, I want to do the most entertaining thing I saw this weekend because I have a good one presented by our friends at Xfinity and Comcast. I was watching late last night, the U.S. Open match between Benjamin Bonzi and Medvedev. And Medvedev has been playing horribly, but he's a higher seed. He's a well-known player. He's won a U.S. Open. And Bonzi is completely outplaying him. He's won the first two sets. Late in the third set, he's on match point on his serve. Up 5-4, match point, his serve. And he first serves a fault. And then a photographer, like a actual news photographer, comes onto the court just on the side, like trying to take a different position and go down this little well area. And the umpire, I think the umpire is part of the problem here, completely freaks out and yells like, hey, not now, get off the court. Like you thought it was a streaker. Like it comes over the broadcast. You're like, what the hell is going on? And so he goes, first serve. In other words, because there's a disruption, you get to do your first serve over again. And Medvedev, who's kind of a nutcase anyway, flips the hell out. Medvedev, goes flying. He just starts, trying to get the crowd into it, saying, no, goes up to the chair umpire, starts yelling at him, like, what kind of man are you? And he's talking all sorts of crazy shit, and he's just going off on him. The crowd, which is usually semi-drunk and a little at the U.S. Open, especially late night matches, is just out of control, booing the decision. They're all on Medvedev's side. They basically want to see more tennis, but they're acting like complete asses. They can't restart the match for 6 minutes. At this point, they're booing Bonzi, and Bonzi is shook at this point. This completely changed the match. And he winds up losing that point, losing the game, losing the set, losing the next set 6-0. And he finds a way to in the third set. And I was glad he did because Medvedev was a freaking penis. I wanted Medvedev to lose this. And
Really good penis.
he winds up winning the third set, and Medvedev then breaks his racket and goes kind of nuts again afterwards. Medvedev just needs to take some time off tennis. He's in a really bad place. And I was happy for Benjamin Bonzi, the Frenchman. But it was a really weird crowd. It was embarrassing for the U.S. Open crowd too. Then it became this sort of polarized crowd where some people were rooting for Benzi and everything. Like, you're not supposed to cheer double faults or cheer easy errors, and half the crowd is doing that, and then half the crowd was feeling bad for Bonzi. It was chaos, and I felt bad for this photographer who eventually was escorted out, had his credential revoked. He clearly.
What did the guy do? He just showed up. Like,
No,
he didn't show up.
He moved from where he was, his little photographer well on the court, and he tried to take a different position. And between serves, he tried to walk alongside of the court, which you shouldn't do. You can't do it. But when you watch it, it's not that bad. The umpire definitely makes a bad situation first, because I don't think either player had noticed it. He might have been able to find his new position without being noticed. And it definitely, if he had said, hey, this is not a time to move, if he hadn't made him sound like a streaker on the court and like everybody, he definitely added to the situation. And then Medvedev is a complete whack job. It just totally got the crowd into it and changed the match. And look, in gamesmanship, it was unbelievable. But it was wildly entertaining. And it is another reason as we get to football season, U.S. Open season, Premier League season, don't mess around with things you don't know, with not having the match that you want. Go to Xfinity.com, type in your area. You'll see the offers that are best for you, and you can make sure you get every great tennis match, every great moment, every great football game. I stream Xfinity. I find it awesome. It is, look, as somebody who once tried to be a cord cutter, it doesn't work. Doesn't mean you don't need some other streaming services. And they have some bundling options and some things with, like, Peacock is part of Xfinity and some really cool stuff that way. But go to Xfinity.com, put in your information, find the offer nearest you, and my guess is you'll wind up saving yourself some money and having better viewing options.
That's the taint.
Are you ready to dig into these listener takes?
Yeah, man. Money bag up first. Even with all the reasons college sports are ass now, I can't wait for Friday. Same.
That's the thing. It's like,
it's a great time of year.
We talk about all the stuff that isn't as fun, that we don't like as much.
Yep.
And it may ultimately impact the way the next generation feels about this. And it may be something, but for us, for those who are already in, they already have us. As long as this feeling is there every year when football season rolls around, the NFL and college football, and the NFL's in better shape, but people are going to be there, and people are going to be excited, and the sport's going to be pretty healthy.
Dominic next, number one. Thanks for doxing me, Graham. When you told me in confidence that you said, enjoy the stairway to heaven, bitch, before shoving a gay guy down a flight of stairs. It was me that kept your effing secret, Yancey. 2, I do what I want here. Don't like it? Jason and I will take our talents to the big show with Michael Patrick Shields. At least he will appreciate us properly and take us to Hooters and Hawaii Spa. Do better. And extra bonus. Graham, can you reinstate my subscription so I can read your columns again?
I can. Yeah. No, let me know what I can do.
Hey, just put out a banger so everybody needs their script back.
It's only $34.99 an hour. So no,
Jesus,
it's not that much. We do have
people can't tell if you're joking.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I shouldn't say that. We'll fix that in post because that's not funny at all.
Might be serious.
Yeah. No,
guys are going.
If you're thinking about subscribing, now is the time to do it. I'm taking less time off, obviously, and we'll work much harder for you in football season and whatnot.
Just make it a decent price per month. Go back to half-assing it. I don't care.
We're trying. And Dominic, I apologize for the revealing your profession the other day. That was on me.
Spartan 18770 next, number one. With Nick Marsh receiving double coverage all year, Amari Kelly will be the biggest benefactor from that. Kelly will lead the team in receptions this year. And 2, people crying about a logo change of a restaurant that serves overpriced ass food is pure old man screaming at clouds. Get over it, Nancy. And bonus, the reason why Graham was not receptive to my idea of having him filmed on game day is that Graham doesn't want his wife to find out how many times he visits the Melting Moments cart.
I wouldn't. I wouldn't mind certain parts of it, like
She knows.
the car up to there. I'm in my Muskox flannel. I look as good as I possibly can. It would be nice. But
The slow motion walk up of you walking.
Yeah, it's the morning stuff that I don't need the rest of the day. Is much. Yeah, the people are really mad about Cracker Barrel, and I don't understand it at all.
Why?
I don't really get it.
I can't go back to just the barrel. I mean, what are they calling it? Kurt Wisniewski. Number 1, MSU football will shock the world this year and go 10-2. And 2, J-Bat was fantastic during the Lions preseason game interview with Benetti. And 3, I'm worried about the Lions not immediately cutting the hooker. And bonus, didn't like my question from last week? Come on, I know it's not taint-tastic.
I don't know. Hendon Hooker is not going to wind up being on that roster. There's just
That's the taint.
There's just no way.
That's the taint.
Yeah.
Hendon Hooker is the taint.
I didn't see Jay Batt's interview. I've not watched the Lions preseason stuff. In fact, I wonder if anybody, Jay Batt, and Benetti might be the only people actually heard that
interview. Not many
interview.
people crushing tape.
Yeah, because I can't imagine anybody's actually watching.
It's a ref show, anyway.
Yeah, well, but you're talking like preseason game 4 or 3, whatever they have now, is like.
If you're at home and nothing else is going on and you're kind of doing stuff around the house to have it on to get a football vibe, that's pretty much it. Purely a vibe.
Yeah.
Bulky Bartonomous next. You can tell a lot about a person by how they feel about their college football team the week of the first game. Anticipation is high. Reports out of fall camp give hope. It's all pure potential. If you can't be excited and optimistic this week, then I can't be your friend.
It's amazing how, like, this week, you're right. Everybody in the world should be somewhat optimistic. Even if you don't know if your team's going to be that good, there's always this
Temple
moment of
Owls. What about that fan base? Give it up.
Yeah, maybe not. Yeah, but week 2,
incarnate word.
That's what makes week 2 such a come down for people whose team loses, because it feels like you waited all year for something. It feels like the sky is falling, the world is over, right? And that's, but yeah, this week's absolute best. I mean, this is what's great about sports, period. It's what's great about opening day. It's what's great about the beginning of any season. It feels like the possibilities, if not endless, are at least for happiness.
Go Muskox next. Which player on offense and defense best represents a Muskox flannel?
That's a really good question. I mean, on offense, it's probably Nick Marsh, right? Quiet, fast, talented, durable. I would think would be the guy. Defensively, hold on, I got to get the right guy here. Give me some Hoff for 1 second.
I am the passenger.
Free Ubers.
And I ride
All right, I got it. Defensively, it's Alex Van Summeren. 6'3", 295, looks like a Muskox. No neck at all, right? Nice guy, but, wouldn't want to mess with him. Might want to hang out with him on a rafting trip, or he'd probably be able to make a campfire for you. I think Alex Van Summeren, if you were to have like one player that was wearing a Muskox flannel in an ad, that would be it. Right, and if you want to look your very best, like Alex Van Summeren might, like I do, like Jason does, you can go to gomuskox.com, by the way, and the $15 off for Couch of the Rube listeners if you want to get ready for football apparel as the colder weeks and months come by. It's $15 off for with the promo code Peacock at gomuskox.com.
Peacock?
Roger Pepper L. Next, the Spartan's secret weapon is our coach. He was one of the highest regarded Pac-12 coaches who hasn't had his moment yet for the green. Low ego and great mind. Last year was a result of the past leadership, and he had a lot to fix. Get ready. And from Scott U, Coach Smith's ability to win 10 games and 8 games with DJU and Gulberson at quarterback at Oregon State is nothing short of impressive. Get him a decent O-line this year and develop a great one in a year or two, and Spartan fans will see the wins stack up, especially since he's recruiting good to great quarterbacks.
I have a decent amount of faith in Jonathan Smith's ability to maximize a roster and also, long term. And I know last year you'd argue they didn't do that, but and to win if he's got the talent. And the real question for me about his regime and Michigan State as a program, and some of this is on the coaches and some of this will be on resources and other things, is to what level, what sandbox can they play in from a resource standpoint. And that will determine, I think, their success under him as much as anything.
Suburban Spartan Dad next. MSU hangs 40-plus on Western Friday, but will still not be sure that they can run the ball or get sacks or pressure on an opposing quarterback.
Yeah, and they might get pressure and run the ball on Friday. But again, it just, to me, until you're playing against other teams that are part of the revenue share and their rosters are costing them $15 million and you're dealing in the same realm, it's just unfair to judge. It's not, you're not going to get a ton out of the Youngstown State game. There are things you can get from it, but it's not the big questions. The big questions, which are the line of scrimmage, quarterback play under duress, how you make plays in big moments when the games are close. That's the stuff you need. Boston College, you need USC, you need Nebraska. Those are the games where you learn those things. It's not that there isn't value in the Western Michigan game. It's better that you're starting with that game than a game that really can, you win or lose just because you're not ready for something or whatnot. But there's only so much to learn Friday.
David S. next. Number one, for the Western Michigan game to be considered a success, MSU needs its starters playing no more than 2.5 quarters. And two, after seeing the new Jumbotrons in person, it is 100% worth any hype they try to give it, and it will enhance the game day experience more than we think.
I look forward to seeing them, and I look forward to I want to hear from people about their game day experience as well. Is it different? I mean, one of the problems with the press box being as shielded as it is, and that glass being as thick as it is sometimes the things that really are annoying we don't hear. Like, I know there's been sound issues and just been too loud and other things like that. It's just muffled. It's not an issue. I think that stuff's important feedback. I'm curious how much of that stuff's gotten cleaned up and whether that's been listened to and absolutely improved. To the first part about MSU needs its starters play no more than 2.5 quarters, I don't think it's that kind of blowout. That's more likely Youngstown State. And maybe you're up several touchdowns at that point, but the game isn't so decided. Things could still go wrong in a quarter and a half if you're up 3 touchdowns. You can't be pulling guys at that point. You do want, if your last couple possessions are your backup quarterback in this game, I think that's a pretty good place to be.
Richard Kane next. My first play call against Western would be an off-tackle, smash mouth, run it down their throats, run, and I call it, let's see what we got. I want to know if the O-line is going to be able to produce. In bonus, Graham says the 1957 national championship MSU claims isn't a real championship. Newsflash. There never was a real football national championship before last year in Division 1A and FBS.
Well, you could say when the 4-team playoff came around, you can argue it. But you're right. Everything before then is mythical. The problem is it's not even a common sense title in 57. Like, if you're number 2 in the Big Ten, you can't be number 1 in the country. Like, it's just that simple. Like, I don't know. I mean, it just seems – I don't understand it. And there's so many. This isn't just a knock on Michigan State. Lots of people claim lots of championships that shouldn't have existed, and half these games weren't even on TV. Look, Xfinity and Comcast, like, cable did not exist. You could not see the games that you needed to see in 1957 to know enough to vote accurately. But what you should have been able to do was look at the standings, right? You don't need Xfinity for that. And it's just absurd that lack of logic drives me nuts.
Corey Ostrom, MSU football will hit the over and be the surprise of the Big Ten due to much improved quality and depth in the trenches. If the defensive ends can be average, they will get sacks due to good interior penetration. The quality depth on their offensive line will lead to balance. And bonus, for Graham to go so far out of his way to say he doesn't bet MSU sports last Friday is an admission that the over on wins bet has already been placed, possibly on multiple apps. Your attempt at damage control was futile, Graham.
Does it feel like that I'm being a little too obvious in my there are times you'd love to. You think, boy,
I'm just a fan. Oh, I'm not a fan. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I just try and bring you guys the information. Yeah.
All right. The Nate Cornejo of Southern Maine next. I should have jumped on MSU minus 18.5, but waited too long. Up to over 20 now. I'm not sure MSU is 3 touchdowns better than any team. Judging by your prediction column, taking the over is the move.
Yeah, over was what, 49.5? I don't know that the only thing I don't love about the over in this game is
Can Western help out with it?
Correct. You got a first year starting quarterback there. And the other thing about Michigan State is, even if they start to click at some point, do they have a rough couple possessions, or they get up big, and then I just don't see Jonathan Smith and his staff being the type that keeps winging the ball around in the third quarter if they're up big. So, say it's 31-7 at some point. If they're just running the ball then with backups, I don't know. I'm a little cautious. I would be a little cautious to tell people about the over. I still think 20 probably has a little bit of value. I wouldn't call it major value, though. It's getting up to a big number. Anything over 17 would make me a little bit hesitant. But I would certainly, as the line continues to grow, and I think it will. If you want to get it, I wouldn't wait any longer.
Max next. This summer feels a little like the summer of 2008. A coach in his second year, a quarterback ready to take off, a couple of decent receivers and possibly running backs, a defense with question marks, and absolutely no love at the national level. Both coaches seemed quietly confident coming out of camp. While Smith isn't as verbose as D'Antonio, he now understands what we expect from the rivalry. Bet the house on the over.
Yeah, there are some vibes there. The
house.
Michigan's program was in a different place than it is right now. Although maybe it's not. Maybe, who knows? Because they're new coach as well. You can see similarities there to some degree. Going back to the previous take by the Nate Arcanejo of Southern Maine, and when to take MSU at minus 18.5 or whatnot. Now that they're minus 20. If you want to have a little something on Michigan State, I think you could put them in a teaser and get them south of 2 touchdowns, and I think that might be the way to go. The problem is in the first week, figuring out what other game or what other games you want to put it with, because there's a lot of things you don't know. But you could put, Ohio State or Texas if you like something there. There's got to be another game out there that makes some sense. But I would look at Michigan State in a teaser if you wanted to have a little something on MSU.
In Sparty, we trust next. Anything less than 6 wins will be a disappointment for MSU. Start 3-0, and 8 wins is a possibility. And Baked, Miss Brown's Boys is hilarious. It's a British comedy. Graham has to know it.
I've heard of it, but I don't know. I don't know. I've never seen it. And I've watched, from Faulty Towers to Keeping Up Appearances to, was raised on, we used to watch that All Creatures Great and Small show with the James Herriot. So, you talk about British, good.
I've never heard of any of those.
Good and bad British shows. I've been, subjected to my whole life. But I don't know it. I will, I know of it, but.
Did you ever have an accent? Did you watch so much that you just started to pick up
No, in 3rd grade, the first time I went to England, summer of '88.
Calling people bloke.
Summer of '88, I remember thinking I was going to have an accent when I came back, but I was 8. And was disappointed that I didn't, because I had told friends I think I'll come back.
You have to try at it though,
Yeah, I've tried to fake it because I was 8, and I got a high voice back then, so it was I might, that's more Australian shit. I screwed it up. Yeah, it was not. I've never had it. My dad sort of had a little bit of one. People thought my grandma and grandfather still did. That is a story not worth telling, but told anyway. Presented by our friends at Midtown Brewing Company in downtown Lansing. Looking for an underrated place to watch college football. Watch a Tigers game, a date night, whatever it might be. Midtown Brewing Company in downtown Lansing.
Thomas next. Coach Jonathan Smith's public appearances, I keep seeing on social media, will be great for solidifying a new generation of fans. If we see improvement this year, he's got a golden opportunity to get the student section more than half full in November. And bonus. Eat at Bert's is the only food stand at Comerica that gives you your money's worth. Ballparks out east even have better concession pricing than Detroit.
Interesting. Have you been to a Tigers game yet this year? I have not.
We did, yeah. We did the home plate club.
Oh,
so
that's
we were
right.
Spoiled.
Yeah. That's right.
Back there, there's food for everybody back there. So yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if I got to try and get to one in September. I feel like it should have happened this year, and
might as well wait for the playoffs.
Not a bad idea. Mm-hmm. Yeah, maybe I'll. That ticket for the Flaherty start's got to be cheap. That's.
That's probably true, though. Gundy next. Not a take, but a question. Would you be more impressed and excited about MSU's team if the offensive line or defensive line dominates on Friday?
Well, it's better than not dominating. I don't know that you can know for sure because you don't know what Western Michigan is. And look, they're a program that was in a bowl game last year.
But we know they're mostly going to be shit. So pushing them around would make a lot of sense if it happens.
Yeah, I don't know.
Be good to see.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, right. I would say there would be red flags if it doesn't happen. If they don't win up front, I don't know what dominate, but if they don't win up front more often than not, then those are red flags.
I mean, if it's 7-3 at halftime,
that's a problem.
Yeah.
Yep.
Sparty Barb next. Number 1, Amari Kelly returns a punt for a touchdown against Western. Did you have that in your prediction?
I think it was at the 99-yard. Yeah, it might have been. Yeah.
Or was that against Youngstown? 2, MSU's defense holds Western to 2 field goals. And 3, MSU's defense has 3 interceptions against the Broncos. And bonus, the Buckeyes beat Texas by 3 on Saturday.
One of the best things about Michigan State's schedule at the beginning of the year is they play Friday night so that we all get to enjoy the first full Saturday of college football. I love that. I love that about it. And I think, if you're an MSU fan, I've got to think, especially when they win these games every time they're at home, even if it's not a perfect performance, you're feeling like, all right, your team's 1-0. Now you get to enjoy the weekend of college football. And to me, it's a good setup. I'm looking forward to that Ohio State-Texas game.
All right, Dan Mack next. Any update on the MSU kicking situation?
Yeah, I mean, we talked about it earlier.
Dan Mack, have you heard of Davenport College?
Yeah.
They got their kicker.
So
rest easy, my friend.
Well, and here's the thing, though. Jonathan
easy.
Kim had barely kicked. He had been a kickoff guy, but had barely kicked much in North Carolina before he came up. He had never been the main kicker and never, so like some of these guys, are looking for an opportunity. And look, I just did a story on Ben Derby, this guy out of Okemos who'd been a really good soccer player, played at Western Michigan and played, could have been a low-level pro in soccer. Basically goes out and tries kicking and winds up now he's, just kicked for the Vegas Nighthawks and they won the Indoor Football League last week. I mean, and he's making a living doing this, and people think he's got a huge leg that has a chance to get a look, even at a higher level. So we'll see. So what I'm saying, with kickers, you never know. It's not encouraging. The kicking situation has not been encouraging this fall camp, but I would also say not to panic until you see it.
Rich Searing next. Number 1, the rumor that Scum tried to buy Jeremy Fears is more vindication of how out of control college sports is. There need to be some sort of rules set in place where these type of deals can't be made where you try to contact players not in the portal. 2, the place kicker issues make me wonder why Smith didn't get one in the portal. I realize the top 2 prospects are injured, but they are also unproven. I didn't expect another Jonathan Kim, but there should have been a solid one out there. And 3, if Izzo lands Jervis, the backcourt of he and Medlock could be the next Fire and Ice, a.k.a. Cleaves and Bell.
Fire and Ice was Respert and Snow.
Yeah.
But
the OGs.
But yeah, that was the actual Fire and Ice. Got to be careful with rumors out there. You do from Jason Strayhorn on down. Things like that aren't.
Sounds like you can just say whatever.
Well, you can say whatever.
People
but
believe it.
Sometimes you get sued. If you really
you can get sued.
You can get sued. No. Yeah, if it's really negligent and intentional, you can get sued and you can lose. The kicker situation, I mean, I don't think they anticipated kicker injuries. Sometimes you're not going to have an experienced guy because experienced guys probably aren't going to leave the school they're at, right? So you're going to wind up with an inexperienced guy. You just want a talented guy from time to, when that happens. And the injury thing is interesting, how that's happened and why it's happened. But they're in the spot they're in. Let's take a really quick break. When we come back, more of your takes. We got some really good Lions, Tigers, some Liv Golf. Therese chimes in. Some other things coming up here and some more MSU football. Couch and the Rube, our Monday afternoon show presented by our friends at Muskox Quality Flannels. Go Muskox.com. Promo code Peacock for $15 off your flannel purchase.
Firekeeper's online casino and sportsbook is the site to play. From your phone, tablet, or laptop. Get in on all the football action with pre- and in-game wagering. There's showdowns every week in football that you can't miss. Plus, the college and pro hoops are red hot, and the pucks are cool. Get your first casino deposit and sports wager matched up to $500 each. Terms and conditions apply. Must be 21 or older and located in Michigan. Gambling problem? Call the Michigan Problem Gambling Helpline at 1-800-270-7117. Where else can you cheer on your team, enjoy a mouth-watering burger or savory sushi, sip on handcrafted cocktails, or one of 46 beers on tap? Take your game day or date night to Cask & Company Kitchen Bar or Front 43 Neighborhood Pub near Frandor. 2 amazing places with 1 awesome blended modern American Asian menu. Catch the game on one of 30 60-inch TVs or stop in for the all-you-can-eat lunch buffet. Enjoy happy hour or elevate your night out at Cask & Company or Front 43 on East Saginaw in Lansing. Ever wonder how comfortable you can be and how good you can look? Put on a Muskox flannel and find out. Muskox has new arrivals for this fall, including the Caper Green Grand Flannel, which even makes couch look good. Muskox is a Detroit-based flannel company that creates soft and durable flannels made to last a lifetime. They become a great partner with Couch and the Rube, not just because they make us look good and feel good, but because they're good people too, and a socially conscious company. For every $100 purchase, $10 is donated to the Alaska Wildlife Conservation. Muskox flannels are designed with 100% cotton that is ethically sourced and double brushed for softness. Feel the quality and comfort of a Muskox flannel by ordering at gomuskox.com, where Couch and the Rube listeners can enjoy $15 off their flannel purchase with the promo code HOFF. Come enjoy irresistible, award-winning, handcrafted donuts and locally roasted coffee at Groovy Donuts. Surprise your family or coworkers with special holiday designs and flavors, or put the perfect finishing touch on an event with a custom order. Birthdays, weddings, gender reveals, our friends at Groovy Donuts are your answer. Experience the Groovy Donuts difference for yourself on Lake Lansing Road in East Lansing or in Williamston. Get more information or place an order at groovydonuts.com.
Find Couch and the Rube podcasts on Spreaker, iTunes, iHeartRadio, Spotify, YouTube, Facebook, Google Podcasts, CastBox, and the Rube's favorite podcast addict.
Couch and the Rube, our Monday afternoon show presented by our friends at Muskox Quality Flannels. Go Muskox.com, promo code Peacock for Couch and the Rube listeners, $15 off. They also have hats and tees, but just some great flannels. You go to GoMuskox.com, you can just sort of envision how you could look this football season and this fall and winter, and just sort of get your wardrobe ready for what is coming. GoMuskox.com. More of your hot takes.
Ben Chulik next. Isaac Tesla is going to help make this take the sting out when the Lions trade Jamison Williams this year or next.
He looks good. There's no question about that. The Williams, the Jamison Williams to me is unlikely to be a Lion long term unless he has a great year. But even then, just the finances of being able to pay a second receiver the money they're already paying St. Brown, like, with all the other guys you have to pay, I just don't see it. So unless he is just out of this world this year, I think.
But who's going to overpay JMO though? I mean, especially if he keeps having off the field.
Well,
thankfully it's been a minute since we've had any off the field issues with him.
Right. So maybe there is a solution where there's a contract that works, or they're able to keep him short term. I just think with his speed and his, just sort of the possibilities of him, somebody will take a chance unless there's a real off the field stuff. I think it's just going to be hard to keep him, and that's why. In this window, while you have them, you've got all these guys. Win one. Yeah.
David Jackson next. The Tigers will pull a Ray Euler in the postseason and move McKinstry in as a full-time shortstop, copying Mayo Smith's move when he put Stanley in at short against the Cardinals. Baez will be in center, just as Northrup was in 1968. Bait take. Flaherty will be in the minor leagues at some point between now and next May.
Well, unless there's an injury system, you're not going to designate him. You're not going to. I don't think he has options left. But
yeah,
you can see a situation where he's.
I mean, if he gets injured and has to rehab or something,
or just about done. Yeah,
right. I mean, what else would you need to?
The thing is, he pitches well enough once in a while that he's still going to be somewhere in the majors on in a 5-man rotation if he wants to. It's just, God, when it's bad, it's not quite Maeda bad, but it's. Yeah, I don't know.
But Maeda, that's like ripcord, pull a ripcord level bad.
Yeah, they just bailed on him, and he's out of baseball, right? I mean, I assume he's out of baseball.
What about Alex Cobb? We're going to see Alex Cobb in the playoffs instead of...
Yeah.
Andrew Gauthier, number 1, the PGA Tour Championship crowning a season-long champion is a joke. Fleetwood was good, but Scheffler was clearly the best golfer this year. And bonus, I know it's a comedy, but Blues Brothers has some of the greatest car chases in movie history. Better than Cannonball Run?
Yeah, or what's that? Ronin? Was that the one in Italy that was really good where they were flying through?
What year did that come out?
Early 2000s, maybe? Yeah. De Niro, was it De Niro? And blanking on everybody now. Might have, I just remember the car chases in that. There's no doubt the idea that I don't even know why the PGA. I get why the PGA does this because they're trying to extend their season.
They're going to change it. Right, because last year, they'd had the point system last year to where Scheffler would have been at the strokes where you would have been out farther ahead than the other. Like last year, that didn't work. They got rid of that. I think they realized that it is kind of a joke the way they crown it. The PGA Tour champion of the season championship or whatever they want to call it.
I know they moved the PGA up, but I'm wondering if tennis has going for it. Is it right now is the U.S. Open. And yes, there is still more tennis to be played, and there are tournaments. They play through October and November. There's the Asian swing. There's all sorts of stuff. Not different from the Asian line. But but right now, one of the biggest tennis tournaments around, really Wimbledon and the U.S. Open are the two biggest, is happening end of summer, beginning of fall, and it sort of caps the season for most fans, for most people. And I'm just wondering if golf could find a way to get a little bit later in the year with a major in the mid-August when there's that sort of dog days of August. I still think that's a better spot for the PGA for something that's big. I don't know. To me, that would be it. That would make sense to me.
KP, number 1, Fleetwood will never win another tournament. And 2, Liv Tour is similar to Caddyshack. Caddyshack 2, they both suck.
Mm.
Yeah, it definitely has that environment and vibe to it. And by the way, and then they had the lines for food where they were wrapped around. And when you have a shotgun start, you only have a limited amount of time to go out and see these guys, so you can't be wrapped up with kind of the food lines too. So
I have to. I want to interject Teresa's here because I realized I just forgot to put it in. She had texted me it, and so from Teresa, this is Teresa's take.
She was at a Rob Thomas concert in her defense last night.
Yeah, no, I
1:45 a.m. So.
And I did say I can't believe I forgot to get in. Anyway, she says the Liv parking lot changed me.
Yeah.
I actually gave an asshole Buick a double finger up.
It was a Cadillac, but
okay.
She gave him 2 fingers.
Yeah, after the very aggressive merge, license plate was MAIZBLE figures.
It was a Michigan fan, yeah.
Yeah.
It was definitely out of character for Treese, the parking situation that they kind of have a makeshift grass huge parking lot. Now getting the buses and shuttling you to the Cardinal golf course was really good. They had the buses flowing, but when you got out of there, people just can't handle themselves. It's kind of like when the plane lands and people think in the back that just because it's you get your seatbelt off and you start running towards the front. That's what everybody was trying to do at this parking thing. And Treese, who gives everyone the benefit of the doubt, is the one giving middle fingers. And I'm she's this parking lot, and she just yells at it. This parking lot has changed me because we had to sit there for over an hour. It's just infuriating that, let someone in, you go. Let someone in, zipper method. What are we doing?
It seems like the whole thing has worked that needs to be done.
It does. Yeah. Liv, I see what they're trying to do. They're doing, good by letting, kids 12 and under in for free or whatever it is. But some of it's not for me.
And most of that's still not broadcast anywhere, right?
No, it's on Fox now.
Oh, is it? Okay.
Yeah, and it's on their app. Their app has, but like I said, there was no Wi-Fi to be had on the course there. I had a half a bar.
All right. So that's another reason to get Xfinity is you can even get the Live Tour and without the parking lot. And also with Xfinity, they have annual plans for internet and mobile together as low as $50 a month. Again, go to Xfinity.com, type in your address, find my plan, and those will come up. There's some great offers. That's in Lansing, Michigan. That offer is there for people in Lansing. Offer ends September 30th. So $50 a month, internet and mobile together at Xfinity.com. And a reminder, for Xfinity, you may not know their mobile service, but they are on the Verizon coverage platform. They just have better prices than Verizon. So it's a really good deal there.
Peasy next. Pistons should offer Beasley a 1-year prove-it deal again. At this point, adding him would be a luxury. And bonus, people are way too comfortable filming strangers in public. And bonus, new Carly Rae Jepsen track slaps.
I don't know who that is.
Carly Rae Jepsen, yeah.
You know who she is?
She was a former Disney. She dated Andre Drummond way back in the 2010 era. I know who I'm not going to lie. I know who she is. I know celebrity news that you shouldn't know. So I do know who she is.
Well,
I'm going to have to trust you on the new track, though. But
the Pistons and Beasley, the Beasley situation is interesting because there was just, a report basically that he is now he is not the target of an investigation for gambling. But
so does he get an apology? I mean, it sounds like he's kind of he doesn't pay people, so he's a dick in that regard. But
seems like he's got a lot of financial issues. I mean, maybe gambling on basketball isn't one of them, but he's not managing his money otherwise. Yeah. I mean, obviously, if you can get him on a deal at this point, I know they've sort of built their roster around not having him with getting Duncan Robertson. But if you can get him on a 1 year prove it deal and after the year he had.
So did the Pistons get bailed out then? Because I thought they were going to offer him some sort of $42 million 3-year deal.
I'm curious what they have left and whether that makes
sense.
sense.
But if you're innocent from the charges, though, right? Like, why is it?
Yeah,
his market's not the same because he doesn't pay his barber.
It's a weird situation. Well, and there's not a lot of money left. The Pistons.
So you're guilty until proven innocent, and you're proven innocent, but you're still guilty.
Well, the big problem is the Pistons were one of the franchises that had the money to re-sign him and could go over the salary cap to do so because he was their own player. So for him, there's just not that much money out there left for a guy like him. I mean, he had been at the perfect.
But the offer doesn't stand for what they were going to offer him because of these.
Correct.
But not the charges. It's just that you're like, okay, you saw what else is going on in his personal life.
Well, the charges too. The charges are why there was no offer, though.
Right, but I mean, he is found not guilty of those charges. I mean, right?
I don't know if he's found not guilty, but yeah,
he's found to be innocent of rigging games. So for the bets, right? Isn't that the reason?
I don't think he's the target of the investigations. What one report has said at this point. Yeah.
All right. L. Ron Hubbard of the Cupboard. Number 1, do Jason and Graham tailgate? Why not have a couch in the Rube area before the game? And 2, Ryder Cup tickets are over $1,000 a piece. What's the most you'd ever spend on a ticket? Lions Super Bowl, your favorite artist VIP, Les Mis meet and greet, and 3, Graham knows the fears shooter.
We do not usually tailgate. We sometimes have tailgated like with the Groovy Donuts, our friends at Groovy
2019
Donuts.
We did one, I think, for the Penn State game. Long time ago.
We did? Just you?
Well,
and I?
you showed up.
I showed up.
Yeah, it was a Couch in the Rube sanctioned event that you swung through, said hi to people.
Yeah.
It was like 2019, something like that.
It was it's hard for me to do pregame. It's just I can't really be I guess the other thing is a lot of the tailgating stuff there, the official stuff, it's a little more official than you think. Like
and Graham having to work, I mean, it's not going to be fun.
It's not ideal.
He'll be boring.
I can't
He'll go
drink
around and say hi to
other things. Yeah, I don't want to overeat. I don't want my gut not feeling good. But I would in the right situation would do it. I'd love to be there in a Muskox flannel and having some groovy donuts and hanging out. I think it could be fun if we could make it work sometime. It just hasn't been something that has been easy to do. What's the most you've ever spent on a ticket? Lions, anything?
It was over that for the Rams home playoff victory when Stafford came back into town.
What was that?
Jordan fan, Michigan Jordan fan. We spent $1,500 with fees and everything
for both tickets.
The fees were probably there was $400 of fees on it. So these were 50-yard line. And through Jordan's job, we get a lot of free tickets. So we just chalk it up to we've gotten a lot of free tickets. So why we just decided that is a milestone game that we can talk about forever. So then all of a sudden he started looking up 50-yard line seats, and I'm like, oh shit, right? Don't have any kids, you got a little disposable income, you can do those things. So I would say, to answer his question, like something that would change my, life changing. Watching the Lions win a playoff game in person was,
So a Super Bowl 50-yard line tickets, 20 rows up. How much would you pay for that?
I would never be in the ballpark because those would be in the $20,000. They start at $20K.
But if somebody said you can do this for $2,000, would you do it?
$2K, yeah.
Yeah, $5K.
No, that's a lot of loans to take out. I don't have $5K laying around for a ticket. And by the way, like I said, I've just resigned myself to go. I'm not going to go to a Super Bowl. I don't think ever. It's just if I think there's a lot of people at this live event, what the fuck is a Super Bowl? I'm not going to be able to handle that. And then the game. Right? I'm not going to be able to focus.
Yeah.
There's no way. So,
yeah, no.
NFC Championship game would be more likely than the Super Bowl, I think.
I think I spent about 500 pounds, I don't know what the exchange rate was, on a Chelsea-Tottenham game at Chelsea in 2022 with my buddy Scott. So, and we're prepared to spend a little bit more in that realm.
If it's life-changing and you're doing it with a buddy, it's maybe a one-off. I say spend that money if you can. Even if you got to take a little loan out. It's worth it, I'm telling you.
We have a shared savings account, Scott and I. We put in a little bit each week for the World Cup next summer.
Right.
And because what we know is it's just going to get ridiculous. And we've wanted to do this for a long time. And we'll have about $4,000 together put away. And it will not cover all the expenses. But ultimately, it'll make it worth doing. It's one of those things where if we were to just look at next summer and say, hey, let's go to the World Cup, and you looked at the price of tickets and travel and everything, we'd be like, I guess we're not going to do that. But when you already have $4,000 toward it, it's like, why not do it? So that would probably be the most I ever spend on anything. Les Mis tickets, never gone over. I guess I've bought a pair of tickets or Hamilton tickets. I probably spent a total of $400 on 2 tickets for Broadway before.
And the concerts we've been to, I mean, those tickets have been. You just have to pick your spots, I guess. Yeah. Fart Soup, number 1, Matt Drolette's chronicling of the show in meme form will eventually land Couch in the Rube in the Podcast Hall of Fame. That would be great. 2, custard-filled donuts are superior to cream-filled. Cream-filled donuts can pound sand.
I have to Matt Drolette's memes with Spot the Cat, with you being killed by a dildo and your tombstone and the just some great. Yeah. Some great
Very
stuff.
Very funny.
And some great Muskox flannel work by him as well.
The looks on Spot's face. Great. Yeah. Each time. Vanzi next. MSU and Western should play for the Graham Couch Trophy. Then he really couldn't gamble on it.
Yeah. I mean, I didn't go to either school. But yeah, I do.
But you covered both.
I did cover both.
So it could be the Graham Couch Trophy.
And they're the only 2 colleges I've covered singularly repeated, like on a beat for a long time. It would be, could be, I have to think, it's a nice idea.
Austin Wolf, the lady on ESPN Game Day on Saturday, trying to act like the Big Ten wants 2018 playoff, has to be on Jason MG's.
That nobody wants.
So she was
that.
making some good points then?
You want a 2018 playoff?
No, but I mean, we were claiming on my level
MGs.
of MGs, and I feel like I come up with some good ideas when I'm at that level.
Some of your best ideas. Yeah.
My only ideas. Who's the lady? Do we know?
I don't know. Yeah.
All right. Big John Hogg, number 1. AVS will be all Big Ten this year.
Hold on. Who is AVS? This is like CMT for Coach Mel Tucker. It took me 6 months to figure out who CMT was. This is we don't
message board abbreviations.
I have no idea who AVS is. I'm not going to look it up. We got to spell that out. It's not that long. AVS. I have no idea who AVS is. AVS could be anybody. Who would you guess AVS is?
Alan Simpson.
Okay.
Alan Vernon Simpson. 2-0 Spurs. Pep has 10 losses against Spurs. Not your best bet, Couch. Also, West Ham is getting relegated. Yeah. 3, got home from Meyer and ended up with another person's bag. The stuff wasn't on our receipt. Would you guys take it back or keep it?
Well, so did you get your own? Did you get your bag too, or did they have your bag? I mean, I guess you're not getting it anyway. It's a tough call. How far away? How much stuff? How expensive was it? Did it look like medication?
There's no way I'm going. Yeah,
right.
If it's from the pharmacy, you go back, obviously.
Right.
But I think you would notice that within your stuff when you're putting it in your car. But yeah, I would say, whatever the mileage back to Meyer, is it worth it? Nah.
If it's only a single bag and it's $30 worth of stuff in there, it's chalk it up to the game. That's what shopping is. It takes me forever to figure out the difference between gyoza beans and garbanzo beans. I mean, and chickpeas. Yeah, I mean those sorts of things. I can't even pronounce it. Gyoza. Gyoza is like Thai food pot sticker. Sorry, I got those mixed up in my head. My betting,
very cultured
betting
this couch.
Betting this week was not great. The Man City bet was a total disaster.
Golf. Yeah. Apologies to everybody that listened. Alex Mayer, number 1, the Spartans rush for over 2,000 yards this season. And 2, the cost of a hotel room, especially in a big city, is complete and absolute ass.
It's gotten out of control. It really is. As somebody who books hotels for football games and books hotels pretty regularly, some of the stuff is like, how do people afford this? I mean, I just and they can't be selling out all these rooms. And what drives you nuts, and this is what pisses me off, is when they sort of try to gouge you by overestimating the market. So there's sometimes you will book a hotel a couple months in advance thinking, I'll get on the best price now. 2 days before, it'll be half of that because they obviously were just trying to get you way, like they were more important. Like they could draw 300, 400, 500 from you. It's a pain in the butt. It changes the way you travel to some point. And even with like our work travel, there are times where you go, maybe I'll stay out by the airport. I don't think I'm going to, that's just a lot to ask. And it's ridiculous.
You and Solari going to share a room, like to kind of
we wouldn't do that.
consolidate?
That's too far. Cost of doing business, you can't do that.
Ralph E. Liked your prediction column, like the latest Spartan Speak. How's the old neighborhood, little Bohemia, and how's your mom? Is this like a text he should have sent to you? Yeah. Sure.
Appreciate all this.
How is mom doing, though?
She's well. She's doing well. The knee is, there's one little thing in her knee that she's, still waiting to, like there's this little slider thing. I don't know what they put in the knee replacement. Sort of a new. I shouldn't even talk about this because it's probably a HIPAA violation on my mom. But
that'd be great if she sued you.
Yeah, it's like. But she's a little worried that she can still feel it with every step, and it's not great. But otherwise, she's walking, she's driving. So look out. Took her. I made her drive me on her first drive on Saturday to Meyer, and then the Horrocks parking lot. And everybody knows Horrocks parking lot on Saturday. I figured if she could handle that because we had to go to Horrocks anyway, then I could trust her in any driving situation with her leg, and she passed.
You trusted her, so she drove. You were in the passenger seat.
I was in the passenger seat, and I wanted.
Horrocks parking lot.
Yep. Now she can drive on her own. Yeah, crazy.
I would need at least 80 MGs.
Yeah,
80. MCV. That's no offense to your mom. It's just me. MCV 0512. While FCS is technically lower quality football, it's refreshing to watch a game where the refs let the players play. I saw at least 12 plays that would have stopped the game if it was an FBS broadcast. And bonus, the kickoff should be eliminated from football. Exciting plays almost never happen. There is almost always a penalty, and we don't need one play sandwiched between 20 minutes of commercials all game long.
Well, see, that's the kicker right there, right? It's the commercials. It's the ridiculousness of, let's watch this and go back to break. And, again, I think there should be basic rules. If you play fewer than 6 plays on a possession, there is no commercial break. Like, you got to go more than 6. You can't have 3 and outs and back to commercials. It's got to go more than 6 plays to have a commercial. That seems like a reasonable ask to help us get more football and help it be. They are playing on an addiction. That's what they are doing to you. They are playing on your addiction, because if you were to just try to, like I always talk about soccer and Jason, and if I wanted him to become a soccer fan, which games would I want him to see? And every time I think about that, I'm watching like some ridiculously boring game from Italy that finishes 0-0, and I'm like, God, I'm glad Jason didn't see this. And like, if I were to try to get my wife into college football, which I don't think will ever happen, like I would not introduce her to like some middling Big Ten game where it's 3 and outs and commercials and it's shitty quarterback. The level, the entertainment is actually pretty fucking low. It's really low. It's not quality. And the TV is a big part of that, and they're playing on your addiction. They know it's heroin, and they've got you.
We're dropping MFers now?
Munfield Keg next. For once, I'm not on Jason's side. Harbaugh's way weirder than Graham. Shirtless Harbaugh, balling with high schoolers, sleepovers with recruits, wearing cleats in a recruit's house, honorable mention calling chicken a nervous bird, filling a wine glass with whole milk, and giving the Pope a helmet. I feel like Couch's resume can compete with that, though. Like, there are things that you've either said or done. Like,
I've never slept over at a teenager's house.
No.
I've never worn cleats at somebody else's house that wasn't my own.
Yeah.
Right? I've never.
You got those two.
Yeah, I've never filled a wine glass with whole milk.
You sure?
Yeah.
I feel like that's something you. No.
I have my weirdness, but Harbaugh has me beat.
Andrew Zuiza, neighbor's cat, showed up to my house the other day. It left its waste in my garage, so I thought about getting a litter box, which is really just another way of phrasing cat trough. So I sent it on its way with a message in the collar saying, "My name is now Graham."
The litter box is, like, that's something we don't do with Spot. Spot knows there's a line, and he does not do his business in our place. He just comes out, hangs out.
That you know of.
I've never seen it. Never
Spot
seen
nugs.
it. Yeah, I've never seen it.
Like, these MFers don't even call me by my real name, and I got to shit somewhere else.
Even understands you don't
Bastards.
don't do it in the backyard, because I mow the backyard and I don't want to step in that.
So many rules for Spot.
There's a lot of rules. Spot understands the rules. It's
Neurotic pants. Number 1, the fact that I don't like people who throw dildos at athletes doesn't make me woke or virtue signaling. It means I'm not an incel or an asshole. I would get kicked out, too, for pouring beer on the heads of these degenerates. All right, man. 2, I disagree with Jason. Graham is only weird in the sense that he's too consistently friendly and easygoing.
Oh, thank you.
I want Graham to snap at Jason for once and call him a brainless, horny chimp.
Wow.
In all seriousness, thank you both for the years of free entertainment. Thank God for MSU football season.
Yeah. Yeah, I would never snap at Jason, and if I did, it wouldn't be calling him a brainless, horny chimp.
Please do. I think that would be great. I would laugh my ass off. All right, Matt C. Number 1, man, when you and a card-carrying member of the Blue Wall get together, it's like a Cialis commercial with a couple in a bathtub just staring at the sunset. True love. Jason, don't let Couch censor me. All right, man. 2, only one thing Couch and his wife could have been chatting about for 3 straight hours before they were married, the Lansing Promise. That's a one-way conversation.
Yeah.
It's like 2 hours of Graham. But in Baked, I've been very skeptical of Jonathan Smith all offseason, but it's game 8 and 4. Here we come, and we're beating Michigan senseless this year. Go Green.
The optimism comes out on game week. Even Matt C. Like, this is what we were talking about earlier with the listeners talking about it. I think it was, I'm forgetting who, forgive me, but if you can't be optimistic this week, I can't be your friend. I think it's one of those weeks.
LMK, so not really a take, but one of our your recent podcast, Todd Anson was mentioned again regarding the Stallions issue. I'm not sure the listener knows, but he resigned from the CMU board this past spring and is no longer an active board member. Interesting.
I didn't realize that. It's the CMU story will not be dead. And by the way, I believe this week at some point, a group of reporters will have a sit down with Jay Batt. So maybe the CMU thing might come up.
The Green Wall. David Cox, anyone that says Michigan's cheating didn't get them wins and recruits is weasel delusional. Look at the record pre and post CS.
Oh,
CS?
Is that, yeah. Connor Stallions. Yeah, these abbreviations. Sorry, I should edit that.
It's not debatable. They got recruits from the winning 2 and 69-24 hairball without 21-1 hairball with cheating.
Well, that's the thing. Regardless of how much it really impacted it, and they obviously won a lot of games after the story came to light, and they won a national championship and all that. The record, the timing of it, and obviously the momentum that came from it was built in part with the cheating. So we'll never know the true impact. That's the problem with cheating sometimes is it just, that's the taint, as you say. You're just stuck with it. And I don't know. I don't like how that's the taint sounds. Sounds coming from me, but
Nas the
taint.
Dave Berwaldi next. Popular opinion on Wolverine football may be an all-time low, especially considering how lightly they were sanctioned. It reinforces the stereotypes we already were familiar with. They're arrogant arses. They think rules don't and shouldn't apply, and they simply deserve success.
These are, I mean, if you are on the Michigan State side of these are 100% the perceptions of them. And I think there are people in the University of Michigan community that would say that's they even understand that a little bit. And lots of people say they come off that way. And by the way, in life, if you think somebody thinks you're an arrogant arse, if you think somebody thinks you're a smug asshole, whatever it might be, if you think people don't like you, one of the best things you can do to make people realize you're a good guy and you care about them is buy them a Muskox flannel. Go Muskox is the website, gomuskox.com. And Peacock, this year's promo code for $15 off your flannel purchase. Let them know that you are a decent person. You're not an arrogant arse.
Skylar Verdon next. The biggest punishment for Michigan football is that for the 2023 national championships, the first name that comes to mind for a significant number of people won't be Blake Corum, J.J. McCarthy, or even Jim Harbaugh. It will be Connor Stallions.
Yep. I mean, that's those are the breaks. And fair or not, I think it is fair to some degree, but this is why, this goes to Harbaugh's line when he was the 49ers about not wanting to be above board and not wanting people to even think you might have, because it stains your legacy.
Shep up next. Graham, I will donate $1,000 to the Lansing Promise if you write the Walmart Wolverine cheating scandal deniers are the same as MAGA cult dipshits column you mentioned you've been thinking about. Up it to $10,000 if you ghostwrite it for album or Wojo, and they publish it. Bonus. Michigan fans trying to defend their fake tainted title remind me of those creepy Gemstones mega church pastors who ran about family values and the sanctity of marriage and then get busted with a hard drive full of child porn and a pregnant teenage girlfriend. The entire organization is rotten to the core. Just absolutely gross.
Yeah. Yes, comparisons there that aren't too pleasant.
No.
Yeah.
So you're going to write that? $10K.
$10K if I ghostwrite it for album or Wojo. Can you imagine that conversation? Hey, Mitch, got an idea. I need you to run this. I'm going to write it. You run it.
I'm sorry, who is this?
Mitch Album?
No, I know. I'm being Mitch Album.
Mitch Album. Yeah.
Not knowing who you were. Thank you.
Mitch, I'm the big guy who likes donuts. I've stood next to you in a few elevators. You don't like when I fake my own voice. It's cringeworthy.
It's over.
Nails on the chalkboard.
Matty B. Gus Johnson openly on a pod wearing Michigan gear talking about his Michigan fandom. Yet I can't get Herb Street to make a pick next to Desmond Howard and Woodson on the other broadcast. It's all a farce. Johnson should be off Michigan games.
Yeah, I mean,
been saying that for years, though.
Yeah.
This isn't like the first that Gus Johnson's showed his fandom towards Michigan.
And I don't know if he was just low on meds or whatever, but that one huge, was it a Big Ten championship game where
on meds,
where he just had no energy
with Connor Cook?
Yeah, it was like 2015.
Connor Cook was balling, and Connor Cook again.
Connor Cook, right?
It's unbelievable. Connor Cook, touchdown. Scotty Green's El Camino. Number one, who knew Frank Reich was coaching Stanford? Not me. Looks like he picked right up where he left off with the Panthers. Losing to Hawaii takes a special effort. And two, the U.S. will win the Ryder Cup. Why? Because that loser, Zach Johnson, will be nowhere near this team. Dude was a disaster and baked. Max Bulla shot Jeremy Fears.
See, that's how you get sued, right?
Shit.
That's we'll fix that in post.
Scotty Green's El Camino.
Yeah.
What a take.
The Frank Reich thing, he's the interim coach for 1 year. It's kind of a tough situation. And, they're going to – Andrew, what's his name, the former Colts quarterback. Come on.
Papadopoulos?
Jesus Christ. Why am I blanking on this?
Alex Van Summerlin?
Fucking.
Who are you talking about? Oh, Andrew Luck.
Andrew Luck, thank you. God, I was Googling is the GM there, right? And he's the one who's going to find their next coach, and they needed this sort of interim year and whatever. So it's going to be a rough year. But I think Frank
sounds great for Frank Reich, though.
Does it for a year? Yeah. Although they just lost.
They don't give a shit what you really do.
Yeah, they lose to Hawaii and rough.
Yeah, fire me then.
All right.
What are you going to do about it?
Yeah. Well, he is. It's a 1 year deal.
That's what I mean.
That's it, yeah.
Kick your feet up. Izzo for president. What happened to the house party scene in East Lansing? And why is it such a bar town now?
There aren't house parties. I guess still got to be house parties. You're just not in college anymore, so you're not getting invited to them. But they're out. They got to be there. Although I did see some people were paying like $40 to get into one of the bars there, like cover. Like who does that? Like
$40 to Harper's?
Yeah.
Oh,
that seems insane.
Really?
Yeah.
40 to get in there. I mean, that's just
your feet
guaranteed
stick to the
to
floor.
get laid.
Yeah. It's just
yuck.
Yeah. It's not. That's not good.
So glad to be old.
Yeah. I bet you the house party scene is still happening. We're just not. If you're not 22,
20 years ago, I was too old.
Yeah, you're not invited. Yeah,
26-year-old me. I was like, what the fuck?
What's the oldest you were when you went to a college party?
29.
Same.
Yeah, because I worked at Jimmy John's, and most of the people were like 18, 19, 20 that I worked with, and they invited me to one of those like house party things where it was It was just basically just some dudes and a couple chicks, but like it wasn't anything crazy. But I realized right then and there, I go, I should not be here.
I was
wearing a leather jacket. I'd look like a narc.
It was
over.
I was either 28 or 29, and the same thing. I'm living in Kalamazoo where I live, by the way, and so it's a Western Michigan town. You run into people at bars or students who you have friends that kind of cross over that when you're in your 20s, and somebody invited a couple of us to their house party, and I thought it was going to be a little more mix of adult than just college. And you get there, and like half the people are in like pajamas too. It was awkward quickly.
Did Russ Eisenstein get you involved in that?
He did not. But we did not stay all that long. It was like, oh god, it was one of those moments. Yeah.
Hans Jurgen next. Number one, as I've grown more and more listless and lazy this summer, I've come to love the Tigers' weekend day games. And two, it would be nice to see an MSU running back break off some 50-plus runs against Western. And three, are Jelly Donuts heart healthy? My doctor says I need to change my diet. And
I
bonus,
think so.
I lost my life savings again on week 0. Good thing it wasn't much. And double bonus. Graham is so woke that he does genderless square dancing.
I've never been a square dancer. Country line dancing sounds fun. Square dancing, not my thing. But yeah, otherwise you might have me. You could have.
Isn't
me
it the same? Like line, square. You're just in a different formation.
Square dancing feels dorkier. Like not dorkier.
The line dancing.
Well, line dancing's fun. It feels more like I don't know. Have you ever been to a country bar line dancing? It looks cool.
Yeah.
Square dancing is more pick your partner round and round. It's more that stuff. I think it's
both
a little
sound terrible.
Yeah, it's not great.
Jake Hawkins next. Number 1, as good as the Tigers were in the last 6 games, including last Tuesday's epic 1-0 due to bases loaded and ball 4 thrown. Yesterday showed that they're still a pretender, not a contender for the World Series. Giving up 6 runs in the 3rd inning after striking out 8. Get it together, Flaherty. 2, great column on predicting the MSU football season. I like the idea of playing Sam Leavitt at Arizona State in a bowl game, but I think the Sun Devils will be top contenders in the Big 12. Going 7-5 would be an improvement, but I say MSU should etch out a win between Indiana, Iowa, Nebraska. I was going to say New England or Minnesota.
Got the state abbreviations in here, Jake. I should have written those out. Sorry.
No, it's fine. 3, so the SEC is finally going to a 9-game conference schedule. Now schedule a series where SEC and Big Ten play against each other. It's one step forward from having both conferences leave the NCAA and starting a Super League. FYI, college football is already like WWE.
Well, it's not scripted. It's just not. It's not.
Well, it depends on your bet.
It can feel scripted.
Yeah. If it's going to be gambling related, but
I am grateful the SEC is going to a 9-game schedule. I like that they're requiring that you play a power team. I don't care what league it's in. I like what the SEC is doing here. I hope the Big Ten follows suit. Now the Big Ten already plays a 9-game schedule. I just hope they require you play a Power 4 conference team in your non-conference schedule. I think that should be just a minimum of decency and competitive spirit in college football.
All right, and finally, the jerk guy, Upper Deck jerk guy. Number 1, Spartans are going to shock the world this season. And 2, soccer kind of sucks.
Kind of sums up our show right there. Those two.
It's good that you're coming around, jerk guy.
No, soccer's the best. Liverpool playing Newcastle this afternoon to get home for the second half of that as well. We appreciate all of you. Thanks for producing our show and bearing with us all this summer. We are grateful it is game week for college football for Michigan State. Something new to talk about, to react to. Next Monday's show should be a banger, as they say. We appreciate also Muskox flannels. Go to gomuskox.com. Glad to have Muskox back as fall creeps into the veins here a little bit. It's like under 70 degrees today. It is Muskox season. Gomuskox.com. Again, Peacock for $15 off a flannel purchase. We appreciate Xfinity and Comcast. Go to Xfinity.com, type in your address, see your offers. Chances are you'll find some great things, be it mobile, be it wireless, be it cable, whatever it is you're looking for. We appreciate Midtown Brewing Company. We'll be back Wednesday. Good show, man.
Yeah, man.
Couch in the Roof.